All right, all right. Let's get it. New episode 120 of The Real Deal. Let's get it. All right, welcome to another exciting episode of The Real Deal. I'm your host, as always, Courtney Harding. Glad to be back on this Saturday. Thank you, everyone that is tuning in on all social media platforms here and all podcast platforms. But before we get started, I want you guys to check out our new content of the week by our sponsor. We got a new sponsor, A&G Adventures on YouTube. Check it out.
Okay, that's gonna go up. Look at my hair. Look how windy it is. But this stuff is so much like sand, what we're driving on. But it's definitely volcanic. And it's amazing. Look at this. I know it's kind of hard to see, but
it's just crazy. But the whole ground is like this sand.
black sand.
Yeah, it's not really black, kind of like gray. But
Yeah, it's almost like we're on another planet.
yeah.
As usual, Aaron and Finnick are leaving me behind.
This is just crazy. This is all volcanic rock.
That is our sponsor. We are sponsored by A&G Adventures on YouTube. So check them out. Check out their YouTube page. Follow them. Again, that was our new content of the week by our sponsors, A&G Adventures on YouTube. All right. Well, let's get into this show. Again, thank you everyone that's tuning in. It is June 17th. The theme of the show, money, power, respect. So much has happened in the world of sports. I want to thank everyone that is tuning in on Facebook. I'm on Instagram Live. What up, Instagram Live? Thank you for everyone that's going to be tuning in as well there. Follow me on Twitter at Get the Real Deal. Follow me also on Facebook, facebook.com/Get the Real Deal. You can follow all the content on BS3TVLive.com, BS3Network.com. Shout out to the entire network, BS3 Network, for always giving me the opportunity to bring out content, bring the best content. And we're at a lot of different games and different places where we are putting out content live there as well. We just had some people out in the Dallas Stars doing some content there, Dallas Stars coverage there. So we're going to be at a lot of different events, games. So continue to be locked in. BS3Network.com, BS3TVLive.com. Download the app too. On Roku. We're on Roku as well. That's one of our main platforms. Roku, BS3 TV app. If you have the Roku channel, Roku device, download BS3 TV app. Again, that's the BS3 TV app on the Roku channel and the Roku device as well. You could also follow the show on Spotify, Google Play, Apple, iHeartRadio, Spreaker. Wherever you get content, wherever you get the podcast, podcast platforms, is we're on all podcasts and social media platforms as well. So that's everything there. That's all the introduction. That's all the things out of the way. So let's get into this show. It's an exciting show. I'm glad to be back on a Saturday again. Episode 120 of The Real Deal, and Money, Power, Respect. That's the name of the show. So I wanted to dive into, I mean, there's so much stuff going on in sports today. The first I want to get into is we had some breaking news in the NBA. I was gonna start the show with the Denver Nuggets winning the NBA Finals. Congratulations to them, winning their first NBA championship in franchise history. But I want to get into this Ja Morant news where Ja Morant was suspended. It came down. Adam Silver came down with a suspension. He talked about during the playoffs, during the NBA Finals, that he was going to come down hard on Ja Morant. He wasn't going to make an announcement on the suspension until after the finals. So the finals ended earlier this week. It was on Monday. So now he made his decision yesterday. Breaking news: Ja Morant gets 25 games for his involvement or, flashing a gun on Instagram. And for the second time, he has been suspended before. He was suspended 8 games during the regular season by the team, by the Memphis Grizzlies. Now he gets just 25 games for the second time. Okay, my take on this is that Adam Silver talked about, they did an investigation. They had some more things that they came up with Ja that was some more information that they had got on the investigation and things like that. But my thing is with this whole thing, 25 games, I really feel, in my opinion, that Ja Morant got off a little light. He got off a very light sentence to me on this. I was thinking he was going to get at least half the season. I didn't think he was going to get the full season, but at least 41 games. But when it came out, he got 25 games. I'm thinking, okay, Silver, the way you were talking, the way you said that you had even more information with the investigation, like you were going to do at least 41 games or more, 60 games or more, but you ended up just giving him 25 games. Like, I thought you were going to put at least put the hammer down on it, but Ja gets 25 game suspension, and the Players Association think that that's too harsh. I really feel like he got off light. And I've been reading a lot of comments, and a lot of people have had a lot of opinions about, well, this too many games, 25 games is too many, or if it's not enough, it's some are saying that he should have got more, he should have got less. I've seen 10 games. Some people say he hasn't committed a crime. Yeah, he didn't commit a crime, but the thing is, he's a professional basketball player, and he has to act accordingly professionally. You flashing guns out on Instagram and with your friends, your boys, and Instagram Live video is like, why are you doing that? For one, yes, he did not commit a crime, but it's beyond that. It's like you're living a dangerous lifestyle. You're living a dangerous thing of flashing guns on Instagram, and I'm no gangster. I'm no thug. I'm not even into that, and I'm not saying that he shouldn't have guns and protecting himself, but to flash it like that and being flashy in the way that he was doing that recklessly, you got kids that look up to you and sponsors. And yes, he's young. He's going to make mistakes. And I know that's the argument on the other side. Well, he's young. He's making a mistake. But, you look Adam Silver right in your eyes the first time you got caught on doing it. And then there's all these other incidents that's been happening within his career from this past season. But he said he was going to do better. He's going to do better. He's made mistakes and things like that. To me, he's running around with, his boys are not holding him accountable. They want to live that thug life, and maybe they do. Maybe they are living that life. But Ja is, you're the guy that's, the people they're looking up to. Kids are looking up to you, and I think that's where part of the issue is. And then you're flashing guns, and real gang members and real thugs, they look at that as like, oh, this guy's worth over $100 and something million, and they're talking more about he's flashing his gun like that. They're looking at like, okay, you want to live this life? We really do live this life. So there's a fine line. Not saying that he shouldn't have a gun, not saying that he shouldn't be protecting himself because of where he is in his life of being, but you're a professional too. There's certain things I believe you have to get away from. You got to get away from that street mentality. You have to step away from the clubs and all those things. When you're in that status of, you're a professional basketball player, and people see those videos, and kids see the videos, and you're a young, exciting superstar, and people see those videos and they're looking at you like, kids might think, oh, this is okay. If Ja Morant can do this, I can do this too. So you got to really be careful of how you conduct yourself as a professional. Not saying you have to, you can't stop having fun and going to club, but it's just the mentality and where you go and where you at. And, and the people are out there coming at you. They're just waiting for the right, at that status of the height of your status of what you do. They're waiting for you to come right at you when you're in those places and things like that. So I just hope that, with these 25 games, I would have said I would have did 41. I would have half the season, but he's got 25 games. I say that he needs to really get help. I pray for his, I definitely pray for his, his safety, his livelihood, that he's able to get the proper help. Maybe that's why they only did 25 games. And then there's a lot of stipulations too, before he gets reinstated back into, playing for the Memphis Grizzlies. You probably have to go through some classes, but like I said, he did it the first time and he looked Adam Silver dead in his eyes, say, I'm going to do better. I'm going to be better. But then you do it again a couple months later. So I just hope that he gets the proper help. I hope he gets I pray for his, he said, for his safety, his livelihood, his family. He's got to have a better support system and everything too. And I'm looking on Instagram Live. Shout out to the NR Hour Media and our sports show, Nathan Ramasandras. Thank you for the comment. He said Ja needs to be off social media for a little bit. Yeah. Again, and your boys are taping you on Instagram Live. Have them. Don't do that. That's the thing. Get off Instagram. Stay off Instagram. I totally agree with that. Stay off Instagram. Get the real help. Get the proper help, man. And because people, like I said, people love to see you out there on the court, and they respect your game. You're a superstar at the highest level. You're one of the top 10 to 15 players in the league. It's just like you need to get that. Stay off social media. Get around a better support system, group, and get to playing basketball. That would be my thing, and that's my take on it too as well. But I hope that he takes this time to really reflect and really get back on the right track, because there's so much, there's so much negativity around this whole situation, and he's going down a real dangerous road with the guns. And I know, like I said, I've read a lot of comments where people are saying that he needs he hasn't committed a crime and all that, but it's beyond that. It's like the flashiness is going to get himself either in jail or dead. Then that's a dangerous road. So shout out another great supporter, and Runner Eve. Thank you for tuning in, and check her out, the runnereve.com as well. A good support system makes a big difference. It does. It really, really does. And I really agree with that comment as well. So yeah, Ja Morant, man, just take this time, and he apologized. He made a statement. His PR group made a statement of apology. He's going to do better. And like I said, he's young. He's making huge mistakes. We've all done it. We all make mistakes when we're young. We all make mistakes when we get older too. But when you get to a certain status, you have to really move differently. And I just hope, like I said, he gets, pray for his safety, pray for help, and then he gets back on the right track as well. So just wanted to touch on that. I got some more. I got a lot of things to uncover here on the show today. Again, we got the Denver Nuggets. They're the NBA champions. They went out and beat the Miami Heat in 5 games. Nikola Jokic, what can you say? He's a 2-time MVP. Come to find out, he should have been probably a 3-time MVP, and that's beyond. And he said he didn't care about getting that 3-time that third MVP award, and Joel Embiid, deservingly so, got the MVP award. But the way, and I know it's a regular season award, what Joel Embiid did in the regular season, he definitely deserved it. I give it to Embiid, but Jokic, he put up huge numbers again. And for those who said he was stat padding throughout the regular season and he doesn't do anything in the playoffs, he shut all those naysayers up. He shut Kendrick Perkins up. He should shut up Nick Wright and all those guys who said he was boring. And with Kendrick Perkins talking about, with the MVP award, going to mainly white players, and then there's racism with it and the voting and all these things, and that was part of the people didn't want to vote for Nikola Jokic because of what I think they had a lot of influence on that, and there was no basis of that with Kendrick Perkins. I talked about that in previous shows, and I don't want to get into all that because he had no basis of there's racism in the voting. I mean, there could be some parts of it, but come on. If you go down the history of the MVP, and I know I said I wasn't going to go down this rabbit hole, but if you go down the MVPs of the NBA history, there's been so many black athletes that won the MVP. I mean, from Derrick Rose to LeBron James to Kevin Durant to Steph Curry, like there was no basis. Like over the last, I'm just going off the top, over the last 20 years, I think, we'll go 30 years, I think 3 white players have won the MVP. And that goes Larry Bird, Dirk Nowitzki, and Steve Nash. So where is the racism in the voting? Sometimes Kendrick Perkins, and then he talked about Nikola Jokic not being not being should be in the MVP. And like I said, Embiid deserved it. Embiid deserved the MVP. But to say there's a lot of racism and all this, it's so interesting. It was such a bad take what he said. So, but again, Nikola Jokic went about his business, and the Denver Nuggets won their first NBA championship ever. So, shout out to Mike Patton. Check out his show as well. Thanks for coming onto Instagram Live. Really, really appreciate it. Runner Eve says, I look forward to these educating podcasts. Again, Mike Patton's got one too, touring the AFC South. Check out his show, man. I've been on. I got to get him on my show too. So we got to set that up before the season starts, man. So thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Want to get his take on this whole John Morant, and wanted to hear what he has to say about that. And I'm sure he's going to be talking about that on future shows. John Morant and the Denver Nuggets winning the championship as well. But and then Nikola Jokic, to get back to it, and like I said, I named this podcast, the theme of this podcast, Money, Power, Respect, and put some respect on Nikola Jokic's name, the Joker. Look at some of these stats in the final. He was the Finals MVP, first 30 point, 20 rebound, triple double in the finals in ever. And I had to go back and say, hey, is that even true? And I thought, like, man, nobody's done it. Not Magic Johnson, not Wilt Chamberlain, not Bill Russell. All these players have gone through the finals. No one has done a 30-20 triple-double in the finals. Nikola Jokic did it. For someone that was too slow, someone that was stat padding, for someone who, nobody, they don't like his game, and he doesn't play defense and all this. Well, he shut y'all up, to tell you the truth. So I hope he shut them up, and they put some respect on his name. Money, power, respect. Let's do it. He averaged 30, 14, and 7. He's the first player to average 30 points, 14 rebounds, and 5 assists in the finals. Another first. Also, he led his team in mostly all statistical categories. Come on, man. The Joker is just dominant. I mean, he led his team like the first to lead in points, rebounds, assists, blocks. I think the only one he didn't lead is in steals, I really believe. So he led his team in almost every statistical category in the finals, in the playoffs in general. That's unheard of. You don't see that when people are leading in points, rebounds, assists, and block. That's why for me, I would take him over Joel Embiid I would. I think it's not. It's very close. It's very, very close. And like I said, Joel Embiid is a dominant force himself. But the way Nikola Jokic, the way he can pass, he can handle, he can score on the block, he can shoot the three, he could do a little bit of everything. So, the comment, the best all-around center in the NBA, I agree. And yes, Embiid, he's a load post, inside, outside, and Embiid does all it too. I think they're 1A, 1B. I prefer Nikola Jokic just because of what he could do with his passing. He's a better passer than Embiid. Embiid's a better defender, much better defender than he is than the Joker. I totally agree with that. But when it comes to offensive game, Jokic he has the inside move just like Joel Embiid does. He can pass out of the double team. Joel Embiid, he struggles a little bit with his passing. He's gotten a little bit better, but Jokic is beyond better at passing. He can handle the ball. Joel Embiid, he's okay as an okay ball handler. Shooting the jumper, they both can shoot, but Jokic can shoot that too. And people had talked about Joker being not such a good defender. He proved that he could play defense. He's a load on the block. Like, this guy is a load. People say he's too slow. Well, we're too slow. He's a 2-time MVP and back-to-back MVP and the finals MVP and the finals champion. So shout out to the Denver Nuggets. Jamal Murray coming back from injury, and we see what happened. We remember Jamal Murray in the bubble in 2020, what he did, just the improvement he's done and coming back off a serious injury is tremendous. Question in the chat is, would you put the Joker over Dirk? I don't think so. I think I would take Dirk over Joker. Maybe when it's all said and done, maybe Jokic, but Dirk was a beast too, man. Dirk was such a great player. He was unstoppable on that block, that one-legged turnaround jumper, and shoot the three. Dirk was a different animal too, but I would take Dirk over Jokic at this point. But Jokic, he's getting into the all-time talks of all-time greatest centers now. So you're talking from Kareem to Hakeem Olajuwon and Shaq and Bill Russell and Wilt, Moses Malone, David Robinson. And so Joker's moving up the ladder. I wouldn't put him as one of the all-time greats yet, but he's putting a great resume on there. So, but yeah, shout out to the Denver Nuggets and Mike Malone leading this team to the NBA championship. He did some of his speeches and things like that. That he was inspiring, and Denver went through the playoffs of beating the Phoenix Suns or beating the Minnesota Timberwolves, beating the Phoenix Suns. I mean, they beat the Phoenix Suns with a team with CP3, Booker, and KD, and they ran right through them. And DeAndre Ayton, they ran right through them, and then they swept the Lakers of LeBron and Anthony Davis Lakers, swept them, and then beating the Miami Heat with Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo and beating them in 5. So yeah, the Denver Nuggets, and shout out to them again. It was just such a dominant performance from Nikola Jokic. Definitely one of the he's probably the best player in the league today. I could definitely say that, and what he's done throughout his last couple of years is just, put some respect. Like I said, the people that were just saying that he was stat padding and all those things, and he was too slow. And now I just saw Kendrick Perkins saying that the media should be covering Jokic more. It's like, you were one of the guys that was a naysayer. You were one of the guys that was criticizing. You didn't believe that he was as good as he was. And now, not saying you can't change your mind, but come on, man. Come on. And Chris Mannix also from Sports Illustrated, he was saying that Denver Jokic they're not nothing special. And I think it was Denver's, their GM, I believe, that said at the parade that they use that as motivation from the Nick Wright, from the Kendrick Perkins, who said all those things, and they used that, Chris Mannix, they used that as their inspiration, and they use that as their bulletin board things so they stuck it right back to them. So Denver, you can't say. And I remember Kendrick Perkins said last year that about the Golden State Warriors were done. Steph Curry was done. Steph Curry's not going to win another. They're not going to get to the finals. They're not going to win another. It's like zero chance they got to the finals. And then what they do, Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors got right through he got right through to the finals and won Finals MVP. And then he said, "Put some respect on my name too." So there you go. You have that as well. All right. Well, I only got a couple more topics for again. I think everyone that's tuning in. So yeah, the greatest player for me. I have his shirt on, and I'm going to talk about Michael Jordan here. The greatest player to ever play basketball, who I think is the greatest player, Michael Jordan, who was the majority owner of the Charlotte Hornets, is selling his majority stake as owner for the team. And he's selling they're worth for $3 billion. $3 billion. Not million, billion. It's a lot of zeros, just to say the least. But $3 billion. He's selling, his majority stake as owner for the Charlotte Hornets for $3 billion. That's 10 times what Jordan paid for it in 2010. He paid $275 million, and now they're worth $3 billion. He's selling it to Gabe Plotkin and Rich Schnall investors. So Michael Jordan is stepping away. He's still going to be running part of basketball operations, but he's selling, like I said, a majority stake for $3 billion. So Jordan's paid again. He's a billionaire, which is crazy to say, selling the Hornets like that. And when he bought the team for $275 million in 2010, they were the Bobcats at the time. So they went back to the Charlotte Hornets, and I can't believe it's been 2010. So it's been 13 years since Jordan was majority owner of that team, and they've had their ups and downs. And Jordan's got a lot of criticism for his, how he ran operations and being an owner and everything. And sometimes it doesn't always translate. Because you're a great athlete, great player, whatever sport you're in, doesn't make you a great GM or a great owner either. Just with the drafting, and they've hit some home runs on the drafting, and they're projecting. They got the second or third pick of this year's draft, which is coming up next week. So be on the lookout for more coverage on the draft as well for next week on bs3network.com. The draft is coming up. So yeah, his decision making hasn't always been the best, but LaMelo Ball, they got a decent core to build around, led by LaMelo Ball. So hopefully, now Jordan's stepping down, even though he's gonna be partly of basketball operations. He's gonna relinquish a lot of that decision making to other members of their team, things like that. So hopefully, the Hornets can move up. They've had some ups and downs. They made the playoffs a few years. During Jordan's tenure, but they've been bad too. As you see, they got a top 3 pick in this year's draft as well. But Jordan, his Air Jordan line too is worth $1.3 billion. It's still, and Jordan's been retired for so many years, but the brand of Michael Jordan still lives on. Still is the biggest company in sneakers and lifestyle and apparel. The Jordan brand, that logo, the icon, the logo is still like I said, the theme of this show is money, power, respect, and Jordan has it all. He has all of that, and he's still respected as his voice and the brand and the logo and the legend of Michael Jordan. And now he's going to be getting $3 billion for his ownership of the Charlotte Hornets, which is crazy, as the NR Hour says with the comments. I really appreciate all the comments in Instagram and on Facebook and all those things too. So, all right, my last topic I wanted to touch on is boxing. We're going to transition to boxing. And we got one of the biggest fights coming up and over the next month, actually in the summer, which the most anticipated one, much delayed, but the most anticipated fight of the year, Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence, two of the biggest names. They're fighting for the 147 unification of the 147 welterweight championship belt. as well. Like I said, it's been delayed a couple of years, and they're finally fighting. Which Terrence Crawford was 39-0, 2 undefeated fighters, and Errol Spence is 28-0. So looking forward to this. I've talked about it over the years. They finally decided to get this fight going, and we didn't believe it. We wasn't believing it. It was like negotiations were on and off. They were negotiating on Twitter. They were negotiating on social media and all these things, and then it finally happened. It's finally going down with this fight again, July 29th. Unification and the most anticipated fight of the summer of the year, 147-pound welterweight, the unification fight. Two of the best boxers ever, or two of the best boxers, I should say, today, pound for pound. Whoever wins this will probably be the undisputed pound for pound, the best pound for pound fighter. I'm going to get more in depth with this. I got to get my man Damian Adams on of The Real Deal with Damian Adams. We got to do a deep dive on this before this fight. Check him out as well. Great podcast, Real Deal with Damian Adams. I call him my real deal brother. With the same name podcast. So check him out. I know he's going to dive deep into it. I'm going to dive deep into this, but this is the fight that's finally happened. They got, you have to, like when boxing, at least you have to get the promoters out of negotiations. They're there to negotiate, but they're the reason why a lot of fights don't happen, because of the promotion, and because you got all these different promoters and money involved and all these things. That's why these fights don't happen. I'm glad these two are fighting in the prime of their career. They're undefeated. They didn't wait 5-6 years too late like Mayweather and Pacquiao past their prime, and that fight was a disappointment and a dud. Now, this fight is what we all been waiting for, what we all been wanting to see as boxing fans, as combat fighting sport fans, and now we finally get to see it. Like I said, I didn't think it was ever going to happen. If it was going to happen, it was going to happen just like the Mayweather-Pacquiao. It was going to happen years later, but now we get to see that. Like I said, I'm going to dive deeper into this fight next month. I'm going to have a couple of people coming onto the show. We're going to really get into this. But again, July 29th, two of the best fighters today, Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. It's been delayed, and it's been the most anticipated fight of the summer of the year. Their unification fight at the 147 welterweight division, July 29th on pay-per-view. So get this fight. You're going to want to see this fight, because the promotion is going to be crazy. It's going to just be a big blockbuster of a fight. So I am looking forward to that fight. So you'll get more. Like I said, you get more in depth. I'm going to get more in depth next month as well. Comment from my man BS3 himself, Ben Sutter. He is the creator of the BS3 network. Without him, this show would not be here. So thank you, man, for tuning in. Really appreciate it coming on to the show. All right. Well, that is a wrap for the show. I'm going to thank everyone that was on Instagram Live, who was on Facebook with the comments. Thank you guys. I can't thank you guys enough for the support. Like it on YouTube as well. Like the like the page, like the show, follow, 5-star ratings on Spotify and Apple. We appreciate all that as well. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube, BS3 Network, BS3TVLive.com. Check it out. I mean, we're all over the place. If you just type in BS3 Network and you type in The Real Deal with Courtney Hardy, if you Google, you could get all the content, previous content. I mean, from shows on our network, we got different shows from sports to movie reviews, cooking, travel. We got you covered on a lot of different things, books, recommended books and topics, and I mean the list goes on and on and on. I can't thank you guys enough for the support. Like I said, like, subscribe, follow, tweet it out, everything. I really appreciate it. But and I have to shout out again to the sponsor, our new sponsor as well, A&G Adventures on YouTube. New content of the week by our sponsor. So shout out to them as well. Thank you guys for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Till next time, as always, peace and God bless. Thank you guys for tuning in. Follow the show. Again, peace out and God bless. And check out again a word from our sponsor of the week, A&G Adventures on YouTube. I'm leaving you with our sponsor.
Okay, that's gonna go up.
Look at my hair. Look how windy it is. But this stuff is so much like sand, what we're driving on. But it's definitely volcanic. And it's amazing. Look at this. I know it's kind of hard to see, but
It's just crazy. But the whole ground is like this sand.
Black sand.
Yeah, it's not really black, kind of like gray. But
Yeah, it's almost like we're on another planet.
yeah.
As usual, Aaron and Finnick are leaving me behind. This is just crazy. This is all volcanic rock.
And happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there as well. I hope you guys all enjoy fathers, uncles, all the men that have taken care of and of kids, mentored kids and everything too. So again, thank you everyone that tuned in. Peace, and I hope everyone have a great weekend and a great Father's Day. Till next time, be on the lookout for more content as well from The Real Deal with Cordy Harden. Really appreciate you guys all. Peace and God bless.